Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the FAQ for the Asus 6Z smartphone. And I have been actually using this for almost 15 days now, and I'll be answering some of the common questions that you guys might be having about this one. In fact, I've already posted my review of the smartphone. I'll leave the link for that one in the description below. But here are the common questions that I was getting regarding the Asus 6Z. And I got this question from Dilip and quite a few of you. And many of you are asking, does the Asus 6Z support Airtel Volte? Yes, it does support Airtel Volte, and in fact it supports dual Volte. In fact, when I was in Delhi, I was using this with Airtel and with Jio, and I was getting Volte on Jio's Jio obviously, and even on the Airtel side. But for some reason in Hyderabad I'm not getting the Volte icon with Airtel. It might be a configuration issue with Hyderabad, but the handset does support Volte on both Airtel as well as Jio. Let's move to the next one. This is by Mr. Ghosh. He's asking, does it also have great quality sound through the 3.5mm headphone jack like last year's 5Z? Yes, even the 6Z has actually really good output via the 3.5mm headphone jack, and in fact it also has DTS audio where you can actually change the sound stage, and it's really impactful. And I tested with multiple earphones like the Sennheiser CX180, these Audio Technica M40 and others, and the audio output that I got from the 3.5mm headphone jack is actually really good, and I enjoyed the music. So no issues regarding the sound quality with this one. Let's move to the next one. This is by Sayan. He's asking, why didn't Asus go for the AMOLED panel despite its pricing, and what kind of glass protection does the Asus 6Z have? The Asus 6Z has a Gorilla Glass 6 on the front, and in fact guys, as I've told you, it's been 15 days since I've been using it, and I'm not using it with any case. Actually a case is provided, and then also I do not have any scratches or anything. I believe the rear is Gorilla Glass 3, but the front is Gorilla Glass 6. And yes, why didn't Asus go with AMOLED screen? And I've got this question from quite a few of you. And when I was in Delhi, I went to Delhi for the launch of this one. I asked Asus officials about it, and they said that this flip camera that we have on this one, this is the mechanical one, is actually really expensive to implement because of liquid metal and stuff, and they wanted to have a certain price point of this Asus 6Z. They didn't want to go beyond that, and that was the reason they went with the IPS LCD screen instead of AMOLED screen. But the IPS LCD screen used on this one is actually really good. For example, if I have to compare, if you have seen the LCD screen found on the iPhone 8 and stuff, iPhone 8 Plus, it's very close to that one. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Rohit. Does it make value for money instead of the OnePlus 7 Pro or the Reno 10X Zoom? I would say don't compare it with the 7 Pro because the pricing is very different. That's about 48,000. This base variant you can get it for 32,000, and even the Reno 10X starts at 40,000. I would say if camera is your highest criteria and you zoom in a lot, then obviously the Reno 10X would be better. But I feel they should be actually compared with the OnePlus 7 because in terms of pricing, it's very close to that. But in certain areas, I feel this is more practical phone. Don't get me wrong, even the OnePlus 7 was a very good device. In fact, I have already posted my review for that one also. You can check out for details. But I frankly feel this is more practical for Indian users. For example, it has that 5000 milliamp hour battery. Hence, in terms of battery life, I would say easily about 1.5 days you can easily get with this one. And if you this is a single SIM, easily about 2 days per charge. Also, I like the fact that it has a proper triple SIM slot, so you can add a micro SD card to expand the storage. And I feel it's a very practical phone. Also, it has that 3.5mm headphone jack, which is being omitted on a lot of smartphones, and I particularly appreciate it. And small things like a physical LED notification light and stuff. So I feel yes, it's very close to the OnePlus 7. Don't get me wrong, the OnePlus 7 is also a very good smartphone, but I feel for Indian users, Indian usage scenario, this is slightly more practical. Again, every phone has its pros and cons. Let's move to the next one. And also I forgot, we also have the FM radio, which is generally not found on a lot of high-end smartphones. I don't know why, but we have that on this one. Anyways, this is the next question from Mr. Kana. He's asking, Does our video have constant noise when the camera module shifts itself to various positions, like when you're using the volume button, turn it? Someone on XDA posted a video about that, and I want to know whether this is isolated incident or not. A very interesting question. Again, as you notice, we have this flipped camera, and you can rotate it. For example, I've rotated a front-facing camera, and Asus is providing a functionality using the volume rocker. You can actually rotate this camera while you're doing the video recording. So it's a convenience feature, but yes, as it's a mechanical feature, if you move the camera while the video is being recorded, yes, there is a slight noise that is from the gears will be picked up by the smartphone. But again, if you're just using it like a normal camera for vlogging, you're not using that volume rocker to move around or fiddle around with this camera like this, then yes, there is no noise. For example, if you just move it, just record it normally, then there is no noise. But yeah, because of that mechanical gears, when you move it while you're doing video recording, yes, the audio will be picked up by the microphone. Next question is by Mr. Patra. Considering the smartphone has an IPS LCD screen instead of an AMOLED one, how is the picture quality, viewing angles, black levels, etc.? As it's an IPS screen, the IPS screens also have very good viewing angles, so no issues regarding that. Also, in terms of brightness, it's a very bright screen. In fact, it's 600 nits, and even if you go in outdoor direct light lighting condition, and if it's an auto, you can the screen is easily visible, so no issues regarding that. And it's a good quality IPS screen. For example, as I mentioned earlier, if you recall iPhone 10, iPhone 8 Plus, etc., the screen quality is very similar to that. So I personally am not having an issue with the IPS LCD screen. In fact, this is also HDR10 compatible, IPS LCD screen, so it supports HDR. Regarding the contrast ratio, I don't have the details. I'll actually post this question to Asus official. If I get an answer, I'll definitely add that in the description or in the comment section. This is by Mr. Dhanush Raju. He's asking, how is the new UI on the Asus? Is it better than stock Android, MIUI and Oxygen OS? And do we get software updates and bugs and lag? Right now, I haven't noticed any bugs or anything, and it's completely lag free. The new UI is almost stock, but a little bit of additions what they have given. That's what it is. In fact, I would say it's much better than MIUI. It's very close to what you expect with Oxygen OS. It's very similar to that, I would say. If you just look at it, it looks like stock. Nothing has changed. Digital well-being, all those options are there, but they have added some features that we as Indians like. For example, call recording and other minor stuff that we would like. So they have just enhanced it a little bit. For example, they even have a proper gallery app and stuff like that. But apart from that, it's very close to stock Android. Regarding the updates, let's see what will be the situation. I think so. It will get monthly security, not monthly, once in 2 months. I'm assuming security updates. Android updates, they have promised actually next to Android updates. That's the Android Q and even the Android R for this one. Let's move to the next. This is by Vin Ardi. He's asking, will the smart key be remappable to any app instead of the present from Asus? Yes, we have a special key over here that's known as the smart key. And by default, when you press it, it brings up the Google Assistant. But you can remap it easily. For example, I have actually done that. And we have 3 modes for this key. Single tap, double tap, and hold, long hold. So I have actually changed it a little bit. If I press single tap, it gives me my Google Now calendar, what's happening for the day instead of Google Now directly. I like this more. And if I double tap it, it switches on the flashlight, which I find it very convenient. And lastly, for the long press, I have set it to DND, that is do not disturb. So it toggles do not disturb on and off if I long press it and leave it. So it's completely customizable. Let's move to the next one. This is by Himanshu. He's asking, why do we have 2 motherboards in the phone? And what about water and dust resistant? What will be the approximate cost of water damage if it happens? Regarding water and dust resistant, just like all other value flagships like even OnePlus, Honor, etc., there is no IP rating on this smartphone. The sad fact is, in this price range, we are not getting IP rating. The same case is even for this one. And I don't know what the water damage and stuff, but in the presentation launch of this Asus 6Z, Asus was saying that if you buy this during the initial days, they'll be having an offer called Flipkart Complete Protect, which is available for just 99 rupees during the initial offer. And that actually covers for water damage and stuff. So if you're actually buying this Asus 6Z smartphone, definitely opt for that complete protection package by paying 99 rupees extra. I feel that is worth it. And regarding why do we have two motherboards in the phone, actually the thing is that because of the 5000 milliamp hour battery that takes up most of the space in the phone, they had to shrink down the motherboard. The traditional motherboard might come down to this much size, and also because this is having that triple slot, that is two dedicated nano SIM and a dedicated space for micro SD card slot, they had to make out space. So instead of having a traditional motherboard, they split the motherboard into two parts. That's why it looks like two motherboards. This is a custom design what Asus did to fit in that 5000 milliamp hour battery and have that triple SIM slot. Let's move to the next one. In fact, again, watch the other video that I posted. I had a chance to interview Asus official head, Sean, and the head of who designed the phone. So got a lot of insights. I had already posted a video regarding that. So if you want to know the insides of this phone, the flip camera and stuff, the split motherboard, watch that video. It has a lot of details. Anyways, this is by Chandan. He's asking, can Asus provide inbuilt screen recording in the 6Z? If not, then how can we do it? In fact, this inbuilt screen recording is there on the 6Z. For example, this is a small clip that I recorded via the same. Regarding the screen recording, and as you can see, this one I'm recording via itself, and it's in the quick toggles. As you can see, we have the screen recorder option. In fact, what I found is if I go to the multitasking tray, if you go to advanced option, for example, just search for recorder, you'll get the screen recorder option, and here you have a lot of options. For example, you can even record the audio and stuff, the quality, orientation and stuff. So yes, the screen recorder option is there on the 6Z. And next question is from Akshat. He's asking, does the 6Z have carrier aggregation? Yes, the 6Z does have a carrier aggregation. Moving to the next, this is my Nishant. Does it support dual band Wi-Fi? Yes, it does support dual band Wi-Fi. And dual band Wi-Fi is supported on almost every phone that cost above about 18 to 20,000. So yes, it has 2.4 gigahertz as well as the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. Don't have to worry about it. And this is by Durgesh. He's asking, what about Android updates, sir? I'm worried for future updates. Will they provide more updates like OnePlus N? Otherwise, everything is good. Again, in their launch event, they said that the next version of Android, that is Android Q, will be coming on this one. And even the next version of that Android, that is Android R, will also be coming to the 6Z. So they have committed to that. And now Asus is also part of the Google Android beta program. Hence, I asked their developers which were present in the launch, the head, and they said that this time, because they are already in the Android beta program like other manufacturers, the updates will actually come out a lot quicker. So let's see how it works, but they have promised two next versions of Android for the 6Z. Let's move to the next. This is by Gadwal. He's asking, does Asus provide camera to API for the 6Z? It was not seen in 5Z, which is the most wanted feature. Yes, it does have support for cam to API. So yes, you can use it with Gcam. I personally haven't tested it, but yes, officially the cam to API is supported on the 6Z. This is by Aditya. He's asking, I want to know, will the night mode on Asus 6Z be improved further? I hope so they improve it. In fact, the team told me that during the last week of this June, they'll be actually pushing out one major update that is supposed to improve the camera performance of the 6Z. So let's see if they improve the camera performance in night mode and low lighting situations. This is the last question. This is by Sundar. He's asking, does it have any heating issues while playing PUBG or while extensively using the camera? I'm actually not doing a lot of heavy gaming, but yes, I did play PUBG one game full on this one, and it did not exhibit any major heating. Yes, the back portion gets slightly warm, but that was the case with almost every flagship smartphone that I've seen. So I haven't noticed actually any excessive heating issues with this phone during the last 15 days of my usage. And yes, if you use the camera extensively, for example, if you're just recording a video continuously and stuff, like any other flagship smartphone, yes, the back portion will get hot after about 6-7 minutes. That's the same case with any other Android smartphone. That's also the same thing. In fact, with 4K, I think so there is a camera limit recording of about 10 minutes on this one. Anyways, guys, these were the frequently asked questions that I was getting regarding the Asus 6Z. If you still have any other questions, do let me know in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them. And again, I have already posted my full review for the Asus 6Z. I'll leave the link for that one also in the description area. Do check out that for more info. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.